Hey everybody, Scott Detweiler here, back with another thrill-packed episode of Couch to Photoshop. This is the ongoing series where I teach you Photoshop the way I wish it had been taught to me. Each episode builds upon the previous ones to build you into a Photoshop machine. So by the time we're done with the series, you'll be able to use the product with confidence and troubleshoot your way through most images. So today we're going to build upon what we've talked about previously with the Hue and Saturation Adjustment Layer. And this is great for people who photograph high school seniors, people who might have skin issues. If you photograph a lot of newborns and you ran up with that purple baby arm that can happen, this is a great tool to approach that problem and to solve it. So like most things in Photoshop, there's 18 ways to do the same thing, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to do this. It's quick, and it's easy, and it's something you can do on a lot of your images where you're dealing with skin issues. So what we're going to do is go ahead and bring that up. So just your adjustment layer, hue and saturation. And I'm going to link to this image down below in the comments. So if you want to grab it from the We Saturate website, you can follow along, or grab your own hormone range machine photo of your favorite high school senior and work along with me. So I'm going to zoom in a bit here. And what we want to do is we want to use the more advanced parts of this panel. So right now we're dealing with the entire master, meaning we are adjusting the entire image's saturation and lightness. We don't want to mess with the whole image. We want to specifically deal with the red in her skin. So I'm going to change from master to red. I'm going to then use these three eyedroppers, and we're going to focus specifically on the plus and minus eyedroppers. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the bar here at the top. The bar here at the top shows you your current color palette, and down below shows you the resulting color palette. And what I mean by that is that as we go ahead and change things, you're going to see this bar shift. So let's take the plus eyedropper, and I want to click on the worst red or most egregious red there is, but I want to be able to click on an area of equal value that's not red. So I don't want to pick like her lips, for example. I want to pick something that's reasonable. So I'll probably pick something like right in here where it's red. And then I'm going to use the minus eyedropper. I'm going to pick an area of similar darkness, say something over here that's not as red. And you'll see what it did. It adjusted these bars. So what it's saying is everything in the middle here is going to get shifted. And then everything from this tick mark to this tick mark is kind of like the blurry area. So it's going to take the effect and apply it less until you get to this wing here and this wing here. So if we take this hue now, and this is going to look really strange, but this is a great way to kind of check your work. Just take it and shift it all the way over. So you can see now these two bars, the top area still looks the same. The bottom, you see there's now blue where there's red in the top bar. So what's saying is I've taken your red and I've replaced it with this lovely shade of blue. So our job is to look at that and go, is that the area I need affected? And it's a bit broad. Obviously, it's all over the place. And it's affecting most of her face. And I really want to focus only on the red areas. So to fix that, we need to fix this tolerance. And it's always this wing on the right-hand side. You just grab it by clicking on it, and you bring it in. You want to be careful not to bring it in and touch that other tick mark, but you want to bring it in pretty close. So I'm adjusting how much red I want to change, or how much of the area is really to be affected by my shift. So something like this seems pretty reasonable. Now, it's affecting her lips. It's affecting a lot of other things that are red. That's okay. What I'm looking at is the amount of her face in here that's red that I want to affect. And it's going to get pretty close. Like you'll be working in here pretty close to that tick mark. So something like this. Now, obviously, if you're working on someone who has bad acne, for example, you're going to see those red marks all over the place, and that's okay. This is just for us to see what we're seeing. And then once this is good, I want to take my hue, and if you double click on the word hue, it will reset it. So we effectively haven't done anything, but the panel has set this tolerance down here. So now we're working in just this range, and we don't have to ever touch it again. Now I can take it and I can adjust the hue. So if you say we take this up to green, oh, that's why would you do that? But what I find is plus 12 tends to work really well for Caucasian skin. So if we look at her now, that red is gone. We've added green, which is the counter to that red. And now if we turn this on and off, you can see the effect. And obviously it's affecting everything, the balls in the scene, her lips, her fingers, fingernails, all that kind of stuff. The red around her eyes. So we don't want to do this everywhere, but you may want to. So here's the challenge. When you're starting to select the parts of the image that you're going to want to keep this effect on, you have to decide whether it's smart for you to start with a white mask, meaning you're going to take and draw black on areas that you want to keep, Or you want to do it the other way. You want to invert the mask, and then you're going to use a white brush and brush out the areas where you want the effect to apply. So you've got two different ways of approaching it, depending on what color mask you want. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to paint in the areas I want to apply. And there's a couple of things you don't want to do with this. First of all, fingers tend to be a little bit on the red side, and that's normal. And you may choose to apply this, and you can always drop the opacity of your brush. So if you wanted to apply this at, say, 30% strength, then you could brush it over the fingers and say, okay, the fingers aren't as red as maybe they would normally be. But like for the forehead, for example, I probably don't want that to be very red. I don't want to accidentally hit this ball because that looks ridiculous. So you want to make sure that you don't go over areas you don't mean to. I also don't want to go over her eyes. And a lot of people say, wow, I want to reduce the red in her eyes. You could do that with opacity again. But remember, humans have red around the eyes. It's normal. Not like beet red. But if you remove the red, they're going to start to look alien. So don't do that. I'm also not going to remove it from her lips, and I'm going to leave it on her cheeks because we want that cute little pink in the cheeks. But the nose doesn't need it. So I'm going to do is make my brush a little larger, and I'm probably going to do 50% opacity. If I just hit a 5 on my keyboard, it'll set it to 50% opacity, and I can just go through and just hit the nose once. And if I want to do it again, I just, again, click it again. Each time I do this, I am applying 50% of that strength. If I alt-click on my mask to show you what we've created so far, this is lovely piece of art, and that's what we have. If we turn this on and off, you can see what we've done. We've removed the red mostly from her nose, and the rest of the image is remaining unchanged. And I may say, this is actually good enough. Like, I may like the way this is now, and that's good enough. So I wanted to show you this technique because I use it a lot, and it comes up quite often when you're dealing with high school seniors and you're working with photographing people that have acne, or I say working with newborns. Same with blotchy skin. If you remove the redness from blotchy skin doesn't look so blotchy, and it's a lot easier to deal with. They're probably trying to clone stamp and heal away that color. This is a great first pass before I begin to work on acne. And once again, if you leave me a comment below on what you'd like to see next, I'll continue with the series as long as everyone seems interested in it, and we'll see how far we can go. Until next time, take care.